Bang! Another little YouTube video. Not going to be little. It's going to be pretty long. This is just sort of so you can going to show you what we're talking about today. Talking about descriptions of the sessions and what they mean, what I've noticed, and just picking what works best for you. So jumping into point number one, people. Point number one: sessions. Now, a session is basically when the market opens for each sort of financial city. So you have London, New York, and Asia, whereas you can see on the chart, you have Tokyo, London, New York. So Tokyo is obviously the largest financial sort of system, alongside sort of Singapore and Beijing, but Tokyo is the main one you sort of go off of. Then you've got London, obviously London, and we can see the times here. So London session is normally from 8 till 5, but there's low volatility pre-London. Pre-London would be 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. The New York session, this is all GMT time, by the way. So New York session is 1 p.m. and to 10 p.m., but volatility pretty much stinks during their lunch break, 12 till 1. And 7 till, well, just after 7, about 8 to 11 is when sort of New York's sort of finished. If you look on my chart here, you can kind of see that. So turn 7, volatility kind of dies. Pre-London, pretty much no volume. Asia, pretty much no volume either. So now we've sort of gone over the sessions and what they mean. I want to talk about what I've noticed. So on the opening of markets, just in general, there is normally just huge volume. Now, as a good way of showing you this, I've seen a lot on indexes, especially when it turns 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. There's a huge ass candle, like huge. So here we can see we're on German 40 on the 5-minute time frame, and 7 o'clock London, we got this huge candle here, huge candle. Where's 8 a.m? 8 a.m, another huge candle, because that 7 a.m. is sort of when London opens, and then European markets sort of open at 8. So you can see a big candle on German 40. This is obviously a European index, and we can see huge volume there. Now, what else have I noticed? I've noticed Asian session. What happens in Asian session? People call it's a model, but you can call it whatever you want. It's in essence just a liquidity sweep. People call it a Judas swing. So it happens in between about 1 and 2. On gold, especially during Asian session, there's normally some kind of liquidity sweep and then runs to sort of an internal low or high. So here we got literally a perfect example. We have resting liquidity on New York high, consolidation going into New York. We've seen Tokyo session at 1:15, take out New York highs, and then we just sort of dump to an internal low within the New York session right here. And then we continue on with the higher time frame bias. Now, what else is there? The AMD model, the classic AMD model. So accumulation is the A, manipulation is the M, and distribution is the D. Now, accumulation is just sideways price action where the market's sort of gaining liquidity, gaining orders to then manipulate somewhere else. Manipulation is normally in the form of a liquidity sweep, and it's a sort of move that starts to run to an internal or external liquidity point within the session. And then distribution is just the continuation of the end of the manipulation phase. And I'm going to sort of try and show you what that looks like. So best way to sort of identify accumulation is just by sideways movement. So you can see here, we get a little square out. We've pretty much got sideways movement for a good 2 or 3 hours. Then we get the sweep, we get the close below, and we get the retest and move down. So that would be accumulation. Manipulation here, where we've manipulated liquidity. As we can see, we swept buy side, retraced back in, then continued. So this would be accumulation, manipulation at 11:50, and then distribution in through New York. That is a great example of that. So on to point 3, picking out what works best for you, because obviously trading is what works best for you, what what can make your life easier on the charts, what can make life easier on your psychology, what makes your strategy easier, and it is entirely dependent on your schedule. So for me, I'll talk through what I do and how it fits into my schedule. So if I'm sort of just looking for an intraday trade, I will be hopping on during London. I will never trade during Asia because I'm just never up, and I don't want to be up that late to sort of catch a move. Like, I don't really want to be sitting on my computer at 1 o'clock in the morning looking for a trade. I would rather sort of trade the higher volume sessions like London, New York. Like you can see here, if we get price ranges out. Oh, okay. Right, well. So like you have a move of 0.3%, but if you go to London or in New York, it's a lot bigger. Like lot bigger moves, and that's where a lot of the volume comes in. So I just don't trade Tokyo Asian session because it's too late. I like trading London, New York. There's lots of volatility. Oh my god, there is lots of I'm gonna crash out, guys. I'm about to lose it. There's lots of volatility during these sessions, and I quite like trading them. And obviously, it depends on your style of trading, because if you're trading off a time-based model, so let's say you trade a main model where you're sort of looking at sessions, so you're looking for a sweep of a session high or a session low, so you're specifically trading in a specific session. Like you might be using the A&D model and be like, okay, I'm only taking trades in New York session after I see the manipulation in London. Depends if you're intraday, if you're swinging. Like if you're swinging, then you don't really need to depend, doesn't really matter on timings that much. Just as long as you're not trading in really low volatility time frames and trading at times where there can be like high levels of reversal, like 1 to 2 a.m. during that sort of Judas swing, because sometimes there's just a lot of reversals and things like that. That's sort of what I noticed. And it does depend on the time frame that you trade with. Like if you're swinging, then obviously I'm going to be using higher time frames, so that doesn't sessions and the times that I trade doesn't really matter that much. Like obviously it does play a factor, and I don't want to be taking a trade at like, let's say 8 or 9 p.m, but I would just never be doing that anyway, because I get up in the morning early and trade London and look for my setups during London and New York. Is there anything else I really want to go over? No, I do think it does just depend on the way you trade, how you trade, and your sort of psychology and everything else that comes with trading, and just your life schedule. Like, everyone's got a life outside of like life on the charts. Like I have a life. I don't want to be spending 24/7 sitting at a chart looking at every single candle that forms in every single session, because I don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. It's pointless. So it all just does depend on your schedule and what works for you. But guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been a real pleasure. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or any sort of comments regarding anything that I do, say, or anything really, then drop me a message or put a comment down below, and I'll obviously respond and be happy to say something, whatever. If it's a question, if it's a comment, I'll definitely respond. And remember, best time to start trading was yesterday.